Hello, everybody tuning in to the LAS draft. It's the first day. I'm excited to be here. I'm going to be joined by Bigsby in a little bit. But welcome to Legends. If you're just tuning in for the first time here, we're excited to have you. Should be a great set of games today. It's the start of the draft. We're going to see which teams are going to come out on top. It's going to be the first game of the day. It's going to be Team 13 versus 14. Should be quite a banger. Now, for the second game, we're going to have Team 6 versus Team 7. A little bit Naruto reference right there. Naruto's team being Team 7, so should be exciting to get into the draft. But overall, it should be an exciting day to start things off for the LAS draft here. And again, if this is your first time joining Legends Esports, make sure to stand by and be ready to enjoy a good set of games because we're happy to have you here. But again, I'm going to be joined by Bigsby, so let me just get him into this call real quick. Hey, Bigsby, you there? All right, so I'm here with Bigsby. Bigsby is going to be debuting for us as our color commentator. Bigsby, you were doing quite a bit of research into the game beforehand, right? Into some of these players. Any thoughts on what you got for the first set of the games here? Juanito Soul. Yeah. Oh, you're good, man. Yeah. Yeah. Just hold that thought for 1 second as I switched the overlay here. I did not realize we were starting up the draft already, but I'll be right back and bringing it to y'all in a second. So let me bring that over there. And here we go, straight into the PentaQ draft. It's already started up here. You can, as you were talking about there, some bans are already taken off the table. You see in that the Gnar, Mordekaiser, and Twitch are already taken away, while Leona, Thresh, and Kha'Zix are taken off away over there. So Turnip's kind of getting feared here on his Kha'Zix pick. They do not want to see that come out there. So smart rotation here from the side of Team 13. Take away some of these OPs that maybe they did their research on beforehand. Now the Sion is going to be locked in first for Axford up there in the top lane. If it ends up going there, that's probably going to be where they end up taking it, but no real secure idea of where it's going to go. Yeah, it should be the top lane pick. Now on the other side, we're seeing the Morgana Cho'Gath here, and Morgana recently got those changes where she was able to jungle a little bit easier there with those changes to her W, allowing her to clear a little bit better. So far though, it's looking like a pretty decent draft so far. We've seen those two big tanks up there in the top lane being taken already, the Morgana as well. So maybe we'll end up seeing some other stuff here in a second. But Yeah, we'll end up seeing it where it goes. And my apologies here. The names I don't believe are exactly what we're going to be seeing here for this match. We're having some subs coming in here to make up for the rest of them. But yes, it should be a good set of games today. You can already see these strong picks coming through. You got that Seraphine over there. Not to mention that Misfortune. That combo down there in the bot lane just does so much work. If you can layer that Encore on top of that bullet time, you can just do so much for your team. So no surprise here that we're seeing that already. Yeah, the Elise getting taken off the table. They do not want to see turnips on that. This guy loves his carry junglers. Not gonna let him play those these days. So, interesting rotation here in the draft. Some interesting team comps as well. You got a big front line with that supportive beefy back line as well with the damage between the Misfortune and Seraphine, and the other side you got the Fly on Caitlyn, and it's probably gonna be the support as well on Morgana. I don't know if we'll see the Morgana jungle this game. I'm hoping for it because I think it's really cool to have, but it doesn't look like we're really going to have that anytime soon here. So, regardless, though, it's good picks all around the table. I'm not too surprised on what they're ending up with these picks here. Yeah, not really sure where they're going to end up going with those, but the tables are kind of set here on what these guys want to play in their roles. You're seeing those top lane bands realizing that, hey, maybe that Cho'Gath might be going to the jungle here. But the Kindred's actually going to be the one that's locked in there for Night Train, so no real surprise there that's coming out. They may have just thought the Cho'Gath was going somewhere else, but it ends up going in that jungle role. Ooh, the Yone coming in there. Yeah, it's looking like it, and it's looking like the Scion is going to come out for the jungle. Uh, so that's pretty interesting here. We've seen that before. Doki's famous Scion jungle coming out there, but it's actually going to be Turnip's going to be the one that's playing that one. So uh, not not the biggest surprise there, but at the same time, it kind of is. And Cass coming in for the mid lane over there on the other side. So should be interesting to see there. Uh, Yeah, this. Yeah, it's looking like pretty smart drafts from both of these guys, right? They opted in for probably comfort here, with these guys ending up. Of course, these are just placeholders for now. We're not entirely sure where these picks are going to go, but one would think that these are the most standard positions for these champions, so not too surprised to see them coming out here. Overall, though, it's not too bad. Uh, Give me 1 second here. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And while Bigsby, you've been spamming all this interesting information right now, we got to give it a second as we do get loaded up into this second form of the game. Uh, just gonna send it off to a quick little break here for a second while we get this figured out.
強く強く輝いて消えた流れ星ほら命が燃える何かに怯え走り続けたその虚しさのしじまに何を見て何を探してきた自分の声がただ響く幾千万の星の中で惹かれて出会った守り手たちよ
Phones as well, and then see if that works. And you can let me know. I will mute myself here. Yeah. Okay, so it's working? Perfect. All right then. We're up in with my team. Peace.
Hello.
All right, everybody. Sorry for that quick little break. I'm going to be switching it back now into the league draft after we get back into PentaQ. So, Bigsby, are you here now, buddy?
I am still here.
All right, good to hear you.
I am very sad that I was not heard, but
I am too. That was my mistake. I did not check that beforehand, but we're living and learning here on the LAS draft for the first time streaming this one around. But here we go, straight back into the draft. I'm gonna switch it over to the league client as they are all loading in there. And I heard you talking all that earlier, but now since we are in the game officially, we can talk about these points a little bit more. Maybe you can break down some of those points you were making earlier, as nobody was able to hear you.
honestly, if you can remember them, I'll be impressed because I can't remember them. So they drafted. Obviously, you guys know what they drafted already. So we have Team 13 with the Scion and Seraphine and all that jazz. Team 14 with Morgana, Caitlyn, and all that. But what I said earlier while I was unable to be heard was that Team 13 has a great composition for team fighting specifically. Scion has a lot of options for ganks because a lot of these people have gank set up, and Scion is insane at following up CC, even pre-6. So he has a lot of things that he can do without his ultimate, which is very important. And later on into the game, this wombo combo heavy team will definitely scale well and do well in team fights. On the other hand, Team 14 has a better bot lane 2v2. They have a better mid lane 2v2. The top lane doesn't do well into Kennen, but he does okay, and he can survive the lane, so he's fine. He could play weak side and be completely ignored and end up just as strong as he would if he was camped. And most importantly, Team 14 has a very easy composition to play into Team 13. Team 13 wants to walk at you, run at you, get you with their CC, grab you, and beat the crap out of you. Team 14 wants you to walk at them. They have Cassiopeia ult, W, Lamb's Respite, Morgana ult, Cho'Gath as a being, traps, everything. So if they if they end up at these objectives before Team 13 and they can set up on these objectives either because they're even and they can poke them out, or they even, God forbid, have a lead, they can push these advantages and consistently outperform Team 13 in these team fights. But
Yeah.
that's assuming everybody plays optimally. And Team 13 has a pretty easy composition to perform, but Team 14 has a very easy composition to perform into Team 13. So I think it's really even in a lot of cases. It just kind of depends on who gets ahead in this game, because if Team 13 gets ahead, it doesn't matter how good your lambs or spite is after, everybody gets out of it, they die anyways. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, after that Lamb's Respite is over, somebody is going to die. So, again, we're just breaking down these points here, letting everybody know. For Team 13 over there on the blue side, we got Kennen in the top lane with Axrid, Sion in the jungle with Turnips, Yone played by Eulaw, Misfortune, and Seraphine bot lane with Juanito Sol and Soul Spreader. It's just good to get these names out there because we're going to be seeing them a whole lot throughout the split here in draft. So it's going to be interesting to see if these guys are going to be big names throughout this draft series, and when they do end up getting drafted next week, I believe we'll see what teams they end up on, because on the other time it's they're not shying away from the power either, right? They got Bup and Cup up there filling in, Night Rain as well, DeFly and MU Kevbo down there in the bot lane going to be doing plenty of work themselves. So it should be interesting. And as we're finally loading into this game, there's going to be a little bit of a delay, but we could just break down some more of the intricacies in some of these matchups as we get into it and load up into the game. I think that Kennen matchup is heavily favored against the Cho'Gath. There's a reason why they ended up kind of using that flex to make sure they could get that counter up there in the top lane. Overall, it's going to be pretty good for themselves. They have the Kennen matchup that they wanted, and the Cho'Gath is honestly going to have a rough time just due to that big range advantage, and Kennen does a pretty good job into some of these AP carries once you get some penetration in your kit. So I'm going to be up to Axter to make that an axe diff up there in the top lane. But everywhere around the map, it looks like pretty decently standard matchups.
Yeah, or just a second ago, you talked about some of these players returning, and I could tell you, looking at these OP.GGs and looking at some of this stuff, I think Juanito Sol, DFly, and probably Axrid, actually, maybe, are definitely people to be looking at in this game. If you're looking to pick up people, I'd pick up Juanito Sol for sure. He looks nuts. It's probably because he is nuts. But we'll definitely put that to the test here, because he's got to perform really well into this Caitlyn Morgana matchup, because he gets hit by anything, even a Caitlyn slow, he might end up dead from it. So he's got to be really careful in here.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm just going to start the prediction off over here in the stream chat, in the chat. If you're over there watching right now, make sure you vote for who you think might win this game, just based on the compositions and the players alone. So overall, though, I think these are good matchups to see over here. And honestly, it's hype, man. It's the first day of draft. I know we had a little bit of technical difficulties, to be honest here, but we're finally glad to be back and into this. We had a lot of fun with it last split as well. For the spring, a lot of good players came out of it. The Gators ended up being the winners of that one, looking very, very strong all throughout the season. So we'll see which team ends up being the big dogs this time around, because you never know with LAS draft. Some people take it seriously most of the time, but sometimes we see some things like the Sion jungle where it can be a little bit of a different pick, and that's honestly what I love to see when it comes to League of Legends. I want to see the Sion jungles, throw a Morgana jungle too, anything you want to throw at it. But overall, it should be a good match today. And this is only the first one. We still got another one coming up in a little bit here. So just make sure you vote for who you think will win. It should be a good set of games, honestly.
Let me see what you guys are voting here. I actually don't have the Twitch pulled up right now, but I would actually like to talk about this mid 2v2 unless we're going into a break. The Sion...
we will be
Yone
in a few seconds.
Oh, okay. If we're going into break in a few seconds, I'm not going to bother, because that's a long-winded explanation.
Yeah. You can break it down as soon as we get in. Just a few more seconds here until we finally do get into the game. And we're going to go to a short break here in a second. And when we do, we'll be right back afterwards to break down more of the game and let you guys see what's going on here.
I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like that, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come at me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me and let's be free. I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like that, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come at me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me and let's be free.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. We're back right into the game. It's
And
gonna be
we're
hype.
We're already seeing pings onto the red side jungle from Team 13 here. They're just running right at them.
Yeah, they're
We're seeing a
pinging
fight.
it out. They're already wanting that smoke. They want to get down and dirty into it, and they don't want to give them an ounce or an inch here. So we'll see what ends up
Ooh, yeah.
happening here.
Yeah, they're doing some cheese right now. There's about to be some action right here.
Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, Bup and Cup
Oh,
over
oh.
there.
Hey, they got 40 gold. Easy.
Yeah, 40 gold into the pockets, stacking that up again. But we're going to break down these two sides once again. We got Team 13 versus Team 14, the start of the draft. This will determine how the players get drafted out and about. But for now, we'll see what ends up happening. Let me turn off the chat there. We don't want any gamer moments here happening. But again, it should be quite a good game here. Overall, these guys are going to be putting in tons of work. They've been practicing all and around for this. Again, the draft is going to be starting up here with a good set of games. And Team 13 over here having action in the top lane, Turnips in the jungle, Ulaw in the mid lane, Juanito Sol in the AD carry position, and Salt Spreader down in the bot lane alongside him. And these guys are playing the Kennen, Sion, Yone, Misfortune, and Seraphine. Pretty decent composition on that side. You're about to break it down, but before we do that, Team 14 over here on the red side, ready to get into position and work and get things done. Bup and Cup up there in the top lane, playing Cho'Gath. Night Rain over there in the jungle, filling in, playing Kindred. I don't really know how to say Galfina, I'll say is the abbreviation there, playing Cassiopeia. DeFly and MU Kevbo down there in the bot lane, playing Caitlyn Morgana, the most oppressive bot lane known to man.
You're definitely right about that, and that's no different here. Also, I think that mid laner is pronounced Galifianakis, but that's just a guess. But either way, I was going to be breaking down the teams. I'm actually going to talk about level 1 real fast. If you noticed, red side got 3 different wards. One in the edge of blue side to see whether or not they're going to be scuttling, and most importantly, when they invaded that Tribrush top lane, their bot lane moved in and got the vision of the Raptors, so they actually know this Sion's clear here, so I wouldn't be surprised if they see some shenanigans coming from either Kindred with either a known full clear, so she can definitely get away with anything she wants to, like I said, like free resets and such as that. Or she could be going for a steal or an invade here. Oh,
Oh.
she might even be looking for a mid gank here in a second.
Yeah, it does look like she's looking for that, but she's really hovering around there. The fly down here gets rooted up for a second there by Juanito Soul and Salt Spreader. So far, lane looking quite even down there. No real early action over here on the top side, though. We're seeing a little bit of a contention on this Scuttle Crab. Hold that, because the Scion has moved down, and you can't really do anything against the Cho'Gath and the Kindred here, but Turnips wants to contest this. It does look like he's going to be going for it. Yeah, the Decimating Smash comes out. Bub and Cup is getting real low here on the other side, though. Night Rain on the other side. Yulaw is going to be picking up. Actually, no. It's going to be Salt Spreader down in the bot lane. That aggressive bot lane duo. We didn't really get to see that fight, but the fly flashes in to get the kill back. That's going to be a 1-for-1 so far, but Juanito Soul wants some more action. Picks up another one. And in the mid lane and in the jungle, nobody else goes down. So 2-for-1. Going to go over to the side of Team 13 on the blue side, making that bot lane fight look easy. Didn't really realize that action was going on there, but honestly, they were going ham at it.
I'm thoroughly surprised because I actually didn't see the thing that was happening top lane. I saw what happened down here, so we'll talk about that top fight just for a quick second and break that down. If you noticed, when that Cho'Gath went down and the Scion started pinging, Yulaw actually really messed over Turnips right there because Yulaw had the push, he had it into the tower, and he took so long to rotate. Oh, a little bit of action down here.
Yeah, there is quite a bit of action here. Juanito Soul getting locked up there for a second, but Nyren is down here on the bot side. Juanito Soul, Salt Spreader might be in a bad spot here, but not a whole lot is going to be done just yet. Night Rain is going to use the W there to try and continue the chase, but nothing else is going to happen there. All he's going to get is a little bit of gold from those camps, and that's going to be it. So overall, even game state here, only a 700 gold lead here for the side of Team 13. Axford over here already bullying Bup and Cup in the top lane. Does not want to even give him an ounce of pressure in this lane. So we'll see if he can get anything done with that small lead he has advantage. He has gotten for himself up there.
But that bot lane 2v2 that ended up in a kill and an assist for the Misfortune actually didn't hurt the Caitlyn that bad because Caitlyn ended up respawning in time, and with the very interesting mechanic of pity zoomies, she ended up catching that almost that entire wave, so she ends up being an advantage here, and actually a very good play from their bot lane right here, shoving in the wave, knowing that the Misfortune's going to recall, and setting up this dragon. It's going to be easy early dragons, and this team really was going to benefit from this if they can manage to secure it, but it looks like there's about to be a fight.
Yeah, it does look like there's about to be a fight. It is breaking out. Night Rain already getting down real low. He could be going down first here. A little bit more will do it. Juanito Soul picks up the first one, and on the other side, Decimating Smash goes down on to Gelifinakis, I believe is how you say his name, but he's going to keep on going, runs away at the end of the day. The fly gets rooted up here on the other side, though. Salt Spreader is going to be able to pick up the kill. It's actually going to go over to Juanito. A little bit more damage that he did onto that last auto attack was what finished it off there. Over here, we'll be seeing if they can get it done for themselves. Overall, though, not too bad of a trade for themselves. The Cloud Dragon for a kill.
I don't know if this fighting in top lane is going to end up in for anything, but
oh god. Yeah, Axford, he just wants some more. He finds it, flashes in after him.
All right, that's not okay, man. That's just BM. That's just kind of rude. Ugh, gross. But let's talk about the not solo kill for a second, that dragon fight. So I'm pretty sure the Caitlyn went down and the Kindred went down. Of course, more fighting. All right, that's not going to lead to anything. But both of the Caitlyn and the Kindred went down, and I'm pretty sure both of them went down to the Misfortune. So this bot lane is what I would like to call over for Caitlyn. She really can't do anything now. This Misfortune is so far ahead of her that there's nothing else she can do but farm and pray. But more importantly, they got the dragon. Red team got the dragon, so they're actually not in the worst spot ever. Obviously, everybody dying at the end of the fight wasn't the best, but they got the dragon, which means they get 5 minutes of scaling. If these teams scale into the late game and they're even, this red side draft can end up doing work. But that's assuming nothing bad happens with this 5-kill lead that blue side currently has acquired in mainly the bot lane.
Yeah, for sure. If they can, stem the bleeding a little bit, get themselves back in a decent spot. To fly. He's going to get exhausted here. The bullet time does come out. Fly might be getting a little too low. Kevbo on the other side is low as well. The Q is going to come out to find him. A little bit more damage would have done it, but Fly still has a heal. He heals, but it's not enough. Another double kill on the bot side. Salt Splitter and Juanito's soul popping off already. Bumpin' Cup might be in a bad spot here as well. It's looking like a full Team 13 win so far. And Juanito Soul is going to go down finally to Night Train, but that is not going to mean the most at the end of the day. Salt Spreader might be going down as well here, so a double shutdown onto the Kindred is not going to feel too bad for themselves.
Yeah, that's actually a really important shutdowns for that Kindred to grab. We'll talk about the bot lane 2v2 here in a second. Honestly, DeFly and Kevbo should have attempted to not fight there because they're never going to win it. They're in such a disadvantage at this state that it's just kind of ridiculous. But, more fighting going on in mid lane.
Yeah, more fighting out here in the mid lane. Galifianakis able to do a lot of work there in trying to get him away. But here is the Sion Ultimate. The Unstoppable Onslaught is going to chase him down. Galifianakis is feeling just fine. That Petrifying Gaze does not do much at all. Bumping Cup is trying to find some more action here. He wants it real bad. He finds one already. Turn up in between two members of the enemy team, but Kevbo is here trying to do his best to keep his enemy or his partners alive there. Galifianakis is just autoing in there with those E's, trying to do as much damage as he can. Salt Spreader might be going down here. Night Rain picks up another one. The most fed member on the side of Team 14 so far picks up a double, and he might be going down here as the Turnips and Axford are chasing him down. He is going to use that Lance Respite to keep himself alive, but Axford might be in the bad spot himself. It is going to be a shutdown going over to the Kindred. That's going to be Night Rain with 5 kills on the board. This man is on fire right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I didn't say Night Rain when I said to look out for players in this game, but I feel like I was wrong. I have been proven that justly. That was an insane play by him. Good cleanup on both the bot lane and the mid lane play there. But that ends up actually evening the game up to 1,000 gold right there. Almost all of it is on this Kindred, which can lead to problems, but that's fine.
Yeah.
She is another 80 carry. We don't need the Caitlyn to be an 80 carry here. We have a Kindred.
Yeah, we have the Kindred. They have the strong member so far. The Caitlyn will scale up decently well, but if the Fly keeps on dying, I don't see a world where he can get out of this lane safely. But for now, the rest of the side of Team 13 over here are doing quite well for themselves. You see that about 1,000 gold lead acquired for themselves. The Dragon is now available, so it's not going to be that bad of a position here for the side of Team 14. But if they, start to give away these dragons for free, there's not going to be that much of an avenue back in. So, going to be interesting to see if they can, kind of climb their way out of this deficit here. The Encore is going to come out onto Kevbo. He's just going to get destroyed down there on the bot side.
Okay. This is really bad. These people really need to stop feeding this portion. Obviously, that's pretty kind of obvious. So, that's just an obvious statement. I shouldn't have made that. But this Caitlyn is so far behind at this point that it's just not even a factor. They are going to be going for this Herald here. I think this is a fine play considering how far behind their bot lane is. Oh, an action's coming though.
Yeah, the Herald has come out. That's 2 members getting real low on the side of Team 14, though. Galifianakis is already going to get real low as well. The Cho'Gath already down. Bumping Cup not even given a chance to stay alive there. But the rest of the side of these guys over here are doing just fine for themselves. So not too bad on the department of the kills for the side of Team 13. They're doing real well at securing these objectives, securing these kills. But Team 14 has done a pretty good job at securing the objectives here. They have the Herald. They got that first dragon earlier, and now they're looking to, they kind of have to give this one away as Night Train died earlier. They can't really contest this dragon here, but Kevbo and DeFly might have different plans.
Yeah, there's definitely looking like they're trying to contest this. They have a good option with this but Kindred coming in.
Yeah, Kindred is here. Oh, man. Seraphine just gets destroyed. Salt Spreader not able to do anything there. Yulaw is going to go down. Kevbo on the other side, though, picking one up for himself. Turnips is going to get real low, but he doesn't go down. Night Train smites it away. The Lancer Spike comes out for the heal, but Juanito can't really do anything there against the team. Juanito is trying to look for some more. He's trying to go in. He finds the auto smashes. He flashes in, but it's not going to mean anything at all. It goes down. In the end, sadly, it's not able to stay alive there.
Yeah, that was really well played by their bot lane here. That may have died early, but that was very well stalled and very well executed from their bot lane. Lots of patience from the Morgana and the Caitlyn there to not immediately go in and try and contest and wait for them to damage it a little bit before he tries. Cho'Gath is getting low.
Yeah, Cho'Gath getting real low on the top side, but over here, they are doing just fine. They use that Herald in the bot side, and with no armor on that bot lane tower. Oh, here goes Axford. He flashes in, tries to find a kill. He is going to find it, but the tower is taken down on the bot side, so this is a very bloody game so far, man. And it's just action all over the map, to be honest.
Yeah, there's so much action I can't even speak. Like, geez Louise, guys, calm down. There's already 24 kills in a 12-minute game. That's kind of insane. Where can I go off that? Like, what's the plan here? Neither of the objectives are up, and I'll talk about that Oceaner. Oh, here comes a Scion ult.
There goes the sign. He's going in. He's going hard. Unstoppable onslaught into the back line, but Yulaw is rooted up there. They are under the tower, but the Fly already picks up one on the other side, though. They're doing just fine so far. Can't really do much else here. Kevbo is trying to find it. The Encore comes out from Saltspetter. He's trying to find one back. No, he's not able to do it. Double kill there for Night Train at the end. Picks up 2 on the back end of that. So, you know, Team 14 have a super fed AD carry here in the Kindred. So, if they can't do much with that, I don't know what to tell them.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you either. But I know little unsung hero right there. I don't know if you saw that, but Kevbo landed a nuts Morgana binding onto that Yone, so he couldn't follow up that play. And I think that's one of the reasons that they didn't get too much out of it. And that's actually really, really important. Now they're sitting at a 1k gold lead into a team that they were losing to not more than like 3 minutes ago. They were losing by quite a bit too. So another problem still is the fact that all of this gold is on the Kindred. So if the Kindred dies, or if the Kindred is not in the fight, here comes more action.
Yeah, a lot more action, to be sure. Yulaw picks up one already on the side of Team 14. The Fly is going to get real low. It gets locked up there. Night Train can't do anything but watch his AD carry dies. Even uses the Lammer Spite to try his best to keep him alive, but in the end of the day, he's going to give 1,000 gold over to the Seraphine. And honestly, that's not that bad of a person to get the money on. You know, you can get these supportive items and just hyper carry your team that way.
It's not that bad, but I'd still report it. Definitely, especially taking 1,000 gold shutdown away. Here comes more action.
Oh, yep. Delphinakis wants some more action. It ends up just having to flash away at the end of the day. Can't really do anything there against the Misfortune. Not feeling good after that one. And the rest of the side of Team 14 here, you know, they're not really doing a whole lot to support this Kindred out. They've been constantly caught out, but maybe they can make the comeback here. They are losing quite a bit of towers. Buttercup might be the one going down again, though, here. Extra TP's in to secure this kill just to get some extra gold into the pockets of this cannon. We've been talking about how this Kindred, hold that, because Saltspreader, barely dodges out of that Piltover Peacemaker, but the Encore comes out, lands on a 2 already. Saltspreader wants his action. It's going to go down, but at the end of the day, he's still just in a fine turn-ups. Uses that stride breaker to break the strides of the enemy teams running away. The unstoppable onslaught comes out. Actually, is continuing the chase as well. Picks up one already. He's going in. That's a fast little rat rodent guy right there. He wants some more to fly. He's gonna get low. A little bit more action with a duddy, and he finds another kill. 10, 1, and 3 on this huge cannon.
This is the most action I've ever seen in a game, I think, in my life. And I've played in low elo bronze before, and you know, you always know that place. That place is just a murder spree. And it went from a 1k gold lead on red side. Now I'm pretty sure. Let me do my math real fast. Oh, it 3k gold lead on blue side. I don't know how these gold shifts keep popping up, other than they just keep fighting and fighting and fighting, because I guess they want to push their advantage or something. But red team consistently seems to be either caught out or fighting without their Kindred. This Kindred is the only thing on their team right now keeping them around. So they really need to start focusing in and just calming down and waiting for Kindred to do things. They honestly, at this point, they might even need to just give Kindred mid lane, because that's probably the best place for her to be at this point. But,
yeah, she really just needs to kind of just stand behind the Cho'Gath. I think if the side of Team 14 could set up a good team fight around these objectives, they can, you know, get their position, their AD carries in a good position to just stand and fire while the Cho'Gath just front lines for them. But the Cho'Gath still not having completed an item here. Buttercup is having a rough time so far against Axrid. But the Dragon is going to go over to the side of Team 13. That's going to be the first one for themselves. Not looking too bad in that department. But again, going back to your point of how, you know, these rotations have been made, or of how these guys have been able to pressure this and how bloody this game has been overall. You know, it's just a lot of action, and it wasn't really what I was expecting from the first game of draft.
Honestly, this is exactly what I was expecting. Do you think Turnips is gonna, like, actually try? He's picked Smite TP Scion. you know he's not really giving a crap. He's just having a good time trying to have a highlight reel. And honestly, in a lot of these fights, he's performed incredibly well on the Scion. All right, let's talk about the crank game state. Let's see if it'll just change in mid-sentence. All right, so red side, all they need to be doing here is farm, 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 farm. If they can end up matching this other side into the later stages of the game, they can definitely win these team fights. It's entirely within their possibilities. But they need to just stop fighting, please.
Yeah.
Lord Jesus, just stop. Calm down for a second. Give Drakes. You got 2. That is amazing. Good job, guys. That's all you needed to do. You got that extra 10 minutes to scale. Now, the earliest I'm pretty sure that they could be threatening a soul point even is almost 30 minutes into the game, 35 minutes into the game. And this is beautiful. Even if they end up getting 3 Earth Drakes before you end up contesting or having ability to, you have Cassiopeia, Kindred. This is going to shred through any armor that they have available. So it looks like they end up grouping in the mid lane here. I don't know what their plan is, what they should be doing since nothing is up at the current moment. They should be trying to freeze these lanes so they can permanently be farming them. Kindred needs to be going back and forth, just full clearing her jungle over and over again, and then Morgana needs to be following around, making sure she never gets caught out.
Oh, here comes the
Scion
Scion, though.
in
He
here.
wants that action. He goes in. Juanito Soul already picks up one onto Kevbo. As you were saying, all those points, the action just starts up once again. Night Rain is getting real low here. Turnips picks up one already. The Fly might be in a bad spot, too. Ashford wants some more. Those Qs are doing so much damage right now. The bullet time comes out, but it's not going to mean the most just yet. We're just going to dump down here to the bot side. The Yone is in a 1v1 against Buppin Cup. He wants his action, but the side of Galifianakis and Cho'Gath are just able to do so much work there. Puppet Cup finally comes up big there with a kill, and the Cassio and Cho'Gath have been doing decently well in the last few minutes. They haven't really been caught out recently, and now the rest of Team 13 over here can just walk over down, maybe start a slow chase here. Juanito Soul is definitely the one leading the charge here. He wants this action, but again, it's just going to be extra pressure gained here. The top tier 2 in the mid lane goes down, and the rest of Team 14 are just forced to run away. Overall, I think it's turning out to be quite the banger of a game. A lot of kills, a lot of action, and 4,000 gold lead so far for Team 13.
Hey, you know what? I feel like most of the players here at least have one highlight play, except for maybe the Cho'Gath. He's just been crying the whole game. But one thing that I didn't get to because they decided to fight was Blue side's win condition at the current moment. Their win condition is run at them. All they have to do is group up around an objective, maybe shove out a lane, and they can just attack whatever they want. They have a Scion for diving, they have insane Wombo, and if red side does not immediately react with 3 members that can hold that line, then they instantly lose the fight. Like, the Cho'Gath can never 1v1 this Kennen, so if the Kennen shoves the lane, Scion and Yone can walk up there and force the Cho'Gath away. He cannot sit under that tower, and they get free gold that way. This way they can push their advantage while the objectives are down, and continue to just snowball. And once these objectives come up, because you have all of this extra map pressure, you can put deeper wards in and consistently keep applying a new layer of wards, setting up for these objectives and getting the advantage. If this red side team cannot set up an objective, it's very, very difficult for them to approach this. They need to be there in advance. That's why I was so like what's the word? I'm sorry. Focused on sorry. I was so focused on whether or not blue side was going to have a lead, whether or not red side was going to be even or ahead. Because if they are, they can actually contest the objectives in a face-to-face fight. But if they're not, well, now they can't set up around objectives, and this becomes incredibly hard. So one thing that they're going to have to do... Oh, looks like there's going to be a little bit of a sneak attack going on here.
Yeah, there is. They are doing the Fnatic Death Bush here, and it's going to be Cassio and Buppin Cup getting locked up there. Galifianakis is trying to do his best to frontline there, but he's not going to be the frontline that they need. Petrifying Gaze comes out and lands on the 2, but Axford is already picking up 1. Slicing Maelstrom through the team. He wants some more action. Give him another kill there, but Juanito's the one to steal it away at the end. The Fly wants to stay alive. He's trying to do his best, but that misfortune is too strong. That's going to be a triple kill for Juanito Soul. This man is on fire as well. the support, or excuse me, the AD carry and the top laner for Team 13 really coming up big here. Not to mention the Seraphine, and honestly, all the members here on the side of Team 13 have been playing well throughout this game.
They've been playing pretty well.
And now another dragon is going to be taken here by the side of Team 13.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, those Misfortune crits kind of hurt my kidneys. I'm not feeling too good after watching what happened. I feel really bad to fly here. But they're going to end up taking this dragon. Again, red side still has a chance, technically, if they can manage to stop these fights. But at this point, they are so behind. They are, what is that, 5k gold? More than 5k gold behind. There's no way that they're going to end up being able to hold these guys back if they want something. If blue side wants something, they can go get it. They want Baron, they can go get it. They want towers, they can go get it. They can just walk at you, and there's almost nothing you can do at this point. Especially since this Misfortune is out DPSing the most fed member on red side. So, and also in that fight right there, if you ever watch it back, you'll notice that Night Train wasn't there when they face checked. Nope, a little bit of action going on here.
Yeah.
Looks like it might go into nothing, though. So I'll continue my point, except for Kindred flanking.
Yeah,
Are you going to fight or not, guys? Come on.
doesn't look like it, but Bubbin Cup catches one out. The Yone could be here. Yulaw is trying to run his way, get away from this action here, but he's just going to go down at the end. DeFly picks it up with the ace in the hole there. Salt Spreader here is trying to do his best to just pressure off with these big Qs, clear those waves, as well as Juanito there with his empowered Qs and ease there with the extra damage he gets from those. Oh, that's a big chunk onto Night Train. But going back to your point here, if we could rewatch some of these fights, it looks like the positioning is just so much better here from the side of Team 13 so far. They're just playing a lot cleaner of a front-to-back composition here. They have the sign to stand in front of everybody. They have a flank with the cannon, and they have the Misfortune and the Seraphine to just kind of run through the team fights with the Yone over there on the side as well. So an interesting choice here of how to play out these fights, and we're seeing it real well from the side of Team 13. We haven't seen that many of mistakes that they've made. Yeah, they gave up those 2 dragons, but honestly, look, they've secured the last 2 with almost no contest here from the enemy team. Juanito Soul is kind of stuck in the front line here, but the cannon is flashing in, only finds Bubbin Cup, but so far in the back line, he's ripping the rest up. Bubbin Cup is going to be the first to go down. Juanito Soul picks him up. Axrid on the backside is going to take him down. Now in the front line, DeFly is trying to do his best to fight the Scion over here, but so far the Fly can't do anything except explode to the W from the Scion. But the rest of the Team 13 over here are going to be able to push into the inhibitor towers here, secure themselves this inhibitor as well, most likely, and even possibly walk over to this Baron here. You're already seeing the rest of the side of Team 13 walking over to it. They know they have the timing windows to fight around this to get this objective, and they want to do it.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the easiest Baron takes I've ever seen. Big props to Kennen on that fight, because I saw the I was looking at the backside of the fight where Kindred and stuff were when it was happening, and I thought maybe after the Lambs for Spike came back up, maybe they could have turned the fight. Maybe that heal would have been enough. I think Kennen popped 1 W afterwards, and all of the Lambs for Spike heal went away. So that didn't work out, but they're going to easily get Baron here, and what they can do here is they can have just 1 member, maybe even Turnips actually, considering he has TP. They have 1 member threaten this inhibitor, and everybody else can push either side lane, or that member with TP can threaten the side lanes, and everybody else go to the inhibitor. If you have multiple TPs up, they're actually going to have 2 TPs up at the meantime. Axrid and Turnips are going to have TP, so they can end up sending the Turnips and Axrid to the side lanes, set up a 1-3-1. And there's nothing really that these people can do because Salt Spreader has such good peel against this. Yulaw has a good combo, and that trio of the bot lane and the mid lane has such a good wombo combo that I don't know if they can actually fight them 3v5. And the other 2 lanes, it's going to be kind of hard to match them. Especially since this Kennen is, what, 11-2? I'm going to be honest. It's looking real scary. I don't want to see that guy in a side lane ever. So it looks like blue side is going to just do almost what I was talking about, but they might end up hovering bot side with the Scion. Looks like blue side's gonna end up. I'm trying to figure out what their plan is. Are they really setting up for Dragon here?
Yeah.
Dragon's important, guys, but not that important. Just go take towers. They're just standing there, doing nothing.
Yeah, it looks like they might just be ending up going for that one right there, but So far, not much else has really been going on since this Baron buff has been obtained. You can see the mid and, or excuse me, the support and 80 carry over here from the side of Team 13 really want this, but Yulaw is down here on the bot side trying to win this 1v1, but he's so far losing it against the Cho'Gath. Not enough damage is coming out from him so far. He gets knocked up again. Buppencup might be looking for the solo kill here. A little bit more damage will do it. The bite is not there to take him out. Buppencup could be going low here, but Yulaw is also very low. Now on the other side, Kennen has taken down the top lane tier 2. He wants to continue the push here. They want to make sure this Baron is used up for themselves. And the rest of the side of... Oh, wow. DeFly just picks him up at the end. Oh, that's not going to feel good after that. That one's going to hurt there. And now the rest of the side of Team 14 here want to look for some action here. DeFly might be able to find the kill here. They do find it with that little Gale Force at the end to end it off. Now over here on the other side, though, Action wants to kind of find some action, but he's really by himself. He can't do much at all. Night Train wants to try and look for this. Lancer Spike comes out, trying to get some extra damage down onto Acrid. He's going to be able to stay alive, though. The Yonko is going to come out, but it's going to whiff, and that's a flash for nothing there from Night Rain, but he's just going to be just fine. That's still a huge lead over here to the side of Team 13. They pick up their third Mountain Dragon, and a lot of action overall regardless.
Yes, lots of action, but lots of shutdowns as well. These shutdowns keep going down over and over. They get so many kills and then they get killed themselves. These people are just kind of throwing away their lives for nothing. Like the Kennen walking in 1v4. Like, even if you get a kill, what are you losing off of that? 1,000 gold to somebody? Maybe 750 gold to somebody? That's a lot. Actually, you know what? I think he died in the last fight, so it might not have been that much. But it's still a 450, 300 gold. Even if it's just 300 gold, it's free 300 gold for them. And this team on the red side is just holding on for dear life, so they're trying to get every bit of gold they can. So they'll trade this 1-8 Cho'Gath life for a Kennen any day of the week. They don't care. Cho'Gath's worth like, what, 200 gold? 150? They'll gladly give you that.
Yeah, they'll gladly give that away at the end. So Cho'Gath dying there is not going to mean the most. He still has his 2 items completed here. It is cresting the 30-minute mark, but again, the tower difference, the gold difference here, and the 3 Mountain Dragons now on a Scion is going to be really hard to cut through there. As most of the team is 80 or are very 80 heavy here. Kevo though wants to try and find something, but he really just gets caught out there. The rest of the side of Team 13 are able to just turn him up and turn him into pieces.
Yeah, that's actually, where's I don't have the objective timers on. What's that button? M, X, C. Okay. Either way, the objectives aren't quite up yet, so they're in still this farming mode. Oh, looks like they're about to ult on the Scion.
Yeah, they're ulting to fly. Gonna get knocked up there. Turnips with the fancy feet with the drift. And Axer just gonna rip through the team fight again with this slicing Maelstrom. He wants the action. Night Rain might be in a bad spot here as well. The Petrifying Gaze just whiffs onto everybody. Axer now 13 kills in the gold in the back pockets, but the Cho'Gath is trying to do his best to fight back. Only finds 2 back into his favor. Only the jungle and support go down from Team 13. Salt Spreader and Turnips with the rest of the tide of Team 13 here are very, very strong. Axrid and Juanito Sol want to just try and end this game here. They feel they're strong enough, but the safer path is going to be to back away. Juanito Sol still pressuring, though, around this objective. The smarter play here would go to just top lane, get that first, and then go and push in with 2 waves of supers, but it does look like that's what they're going to end up doing here. Kevbo and Galifianakis, the only 2 members on their team alive right now. Going to try and do their best to defend it, but it's not going to be anything. The feat sealed comes out. Yulaw gets the shield back with his immortal shield bow. Barely stays alive, though, and almost kills Axrid in the back half of that.
I don't even know how that happened, but either way, if you notice in that team fight, the Scion was useful the entire time. Amazing drift coming onto the Caitlyn and actually finding that target. That's insane. And then afterwards, if you didn't notice, he completely zoned the Cassiopeia off of the fight as a dead zombie. He just kept wailing her and wailing her and wailing her with that Glacial Augment procs. He just kept beating her up. So actually, if he had not ended up doing that and just kind of wasted the zombie, Cassiopeia would have cleaned that up, because that Cho'Gath, because that Lamster Spite was insane. Completely ate both I'm pretty sure Seraphine ult, Misfortune ult, and the Kennen ult completely. Didn't kill a single person with those. They damaged the Kindred, and that was it.
Yeah.
Kindred is still the most fed member,
Oh,
but
okay. Well, we're all gonna see. DeFly was there, and then he wasn't. Salt Spreader is able to find a kill on the backside. This is just gonna be an absolute wipe here. The rest of the side of Team 13 are looking for the blood. They want the end here. The 32-minute mark is enough, they say, and now the rest of Team 13 are gonna run it down in the mid lane. A triple kill for Juanito Soul at the end, and the two main carries here, the top laner and the AD carry, Juanito Soul and Axrid, are gonna end up with 30 kills combined in between them two. This has just been insane from these two players, and now they're looking for the end here. It does look like the Nexus Towers are just going to melt here, and Team 13 are going to be the first ones to pick up a win in this draft. So LAS draft is off to a bang and off to the races here. Team 13 are going to be able to take down Team 14 in the end.
Yep. And good old turn up with the Doki diff right at the end. Because that genuinely was a Doki diff right there. That TP Scion actually did a lot more work than I was expecting, especially being piloted by not Doki. But honestly, for both sides, that was a very good game and showed the players very well. I think maybe some people didn't perform quite as well as they'd want to, but I think honestly having any of these players on my team wouldn't be a bad idea. I'd love to have Kevbo or DeFly on my team, especially if I was running it. And even though they didn't perform perfectly this game, they still had their highlight moments. Only person that didn't happen to be a sub, so that works out.
Yeah, that was really the only difference here. Team 6, though, able to get the win. They are able to find it, and it's going to be the dub for themselves. Are going to be feeling good after this one. The rest of the side of Team 14 not able to do much against it. There was just too much pressure there on the side of Team 13, and you're seeing the damage charts right there. Look at that misfortune damage, 40,000 damage. Juanito Soul definitely putting on the carry pants here and popping off. Definitely put in a ton of work himself. Now, for the rest of the side of... we're not able to see extra damage. Sorry about that. I'll get it in here shortly. Just gonna move this down a little bit. There we go. Axrid's damage there, almost cresting as much. Did about 30,000 damage himself. Feeling real good as well. So, Team 13 coming out big, and excuse me, I have the wrong things on as well. But yeah, able to do a lot of work here. In between themselves. There it is. Yeah, Team 13 coming up big here. A lot of damage in between their composition. They just had the control throughout the game. We saw the early kills down in the bot lane, and then it just turned up to a solo kill up in the top lane. A lot of action throughout the map, and a lot of work being done for themselves. So overall, they got the job done, and they really made it kind of look easy in this game. They had control almost the entire time, and now they were able to do quite a bit of work there for themselves. So it's interesting to see that they came out on top that well, and I'm excited to see what else draft can do for us coming into this.
I mean, after that one, this is just going to be a whole lot of fun games if they're all like that. Especially since my job will be really easy. I don't have to talk at all. It's going to be too much action. But on a real note, Blue Side did a very, very good job of getting ahead in the early game. The 2v2, they just straight up beat them. There was just like no question about it. They just beat them in a straight up fight. And that 2v2 ended up snowballing ahead. The top lane just got their ass. They got their butt handed to them on a silver platter. There's really no other way of putting that. Obviously, they're going to lose the lane, but not that hard, man. Not that hard. But even then, Red Side started to come back. Kindred started cleaning up kills, and they ended up ahead at one point in the game. So Blue Side definitely had some problems that game. Definitely had some issues either communicating or overcommitting for something, or didn't track the jungler, something akin to that. And ended up giving up early dragons. Ended up giving up their lead at one point. If Red Side didn't just throw it back at them, I feel like this game would have been a little bit more interesting and less easy looking, as you put it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was very happy with this game. I think Red Side definitely performed. Blue Side, I still think, did very well in their own regard.
For sure. And Team 13 going to end up with that dub there. That was the first game of the day. We're going to head it off to a quick break as we load in for the second one. We'll be right back shortly. And it's just been nice to see that these guys are coming out hard. All right, everybody, we're back into this one. We got the thing selected here. You guys voted for your player of the game. It was Salt Spreader. Ended up being your winner here. And he's not playing Gwen. Excuse me. I do not know why it's that still. He was in fact playing. Actually, we'll just leave it like that for now. Take that one away. There we go. It's fine. But yeah, Salt Spreader done a great job. 5, 7, and 24. Did his duty as a support there in the bot lane. Definitely put in some work by himself alongside Juanito Soul. So did a great job there. And while we're talking about this, it was great to see that Team 13 and Team 14 come out swinging to start it off. And overall, it was just nice to see that we got to just see the early action and see a big fiesta throughout it all. And overall, though, I'm excited to see what's going to come out in Game 2 here because it is going to be starting shortly. So we're going to get right into that. I do not know if my co-caster is here right now. Are you ready? Okay. All right. Yeah, those ults were definitely down and got them done for sure. So for a second here, we're just going to load back into the Pentaqueue here. We're going to get right into it, and I'll invite you shortly, all right? I'll send you the link at the very least. Get that up and running there for yourself. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what these guys come out with. Because it's been a day, right? There's been a lot of action, and it's been good to see that these guys are ready to fight and ready to get down into it. So we are going to be starting shortly here with the Pentaqueue, but you're seeing these two teams over here just ready to get down into it, and we will be switching up that shortly as well. Yeah, it looks like the first bands are going to be coming out. Yep. Did you get the link there? There you go. All right, so I'm going to switch up these names real quick. Don't know why they didn't fix. Yeah, it looks like the first bands coming out here are interesting as we get this all sorted out with the name situation here. Yeah, Team 6 versus Team 7 there. I'm going to be switching up these names real quick here. It is not the players from last game. I do not know why they're appearing as such. But overall here, we are going to be fixing this up very shortly here. But overall here, the Pentaqueue is starting. Xayah already coming out for themselves. Yeah, for sure. All right, I think we got the names all sorted out. Sorry about that delay, guys. They are back and ready to go here. And yeah, it's been interesting to see what they ended up picking here. Really just want to get this action in, get it ready for this game coming up here. Again, this is the draft. Team 13 and Team 14, they are ready to get down into it. And there's been a lot of talk around the draft and who's already going to get taken and stuff like that. So I really want to see how these guys are going to come out throughout this game. So it should be a go ahead. Oh, you're good. Yeah, that those matchups are lining up pretty well. Name should be there and set up now. Yep. But yeah, these are turning out to be some interesting compositions here, and it looks like the Mundo is going to be the big deciding thing here for me, honestly, because Mundo has one of those clears where it's ultra fast, but he doesn't really do much, coming into these ganks unless he can get really behind you and set up around that. But you can see here this bot lane, it does have quite a bit of setup in between the Thresh and the and the Jinx here. You can really lock somebody down there for sure. Team 14 here opting in for a little bit better of a team fight so far, so maybe they can get it done easily there in between the Thresh and the Jinx. You're good, man. Yeah, the mouse coming out here. The Kumi, I believe, likes to play that quite a bit, so maybe you'll be able to pop off on it this time around. Overall, though, these guys are popping and ready to go. Oh, the Roombo, man, he's pulling it out. Yeah. Yeah, No, go. I'll go in here real quick. Going into the draft here, we are starting to load in, so we're gonna get to see where these things are gonna come in from, and it is gonna end up being these picks so far. We're gonna transition to that real quick. There we go, and it is the Nocturne first ban, of course, as we saw earlier with that in the earlier stages. So for now, though, it is turning out to be the standard compositions coming out again. We saw these guys want to break it down in the first game. They got real team fight heavy. We might just be seeing that once again here in between all these fighters and all these big beefy tanks and things like that. So it's no surprise to me that we're seeing all these bands already getting off the table, as we just saw earlier. But going back to the team compositions, when we saw that Mundo come out, I was just excited to see it, man. Anytime there's a Mundo in the game, he goes where he pleases, he gets it done, and it's probably going to be the same thing around this time. And we're going to see that it's going to be the Aurelia actually going to the top lane, which is interesting to see here, as it is quite the switch up. I thought it was going to be the Aurelia mid, but it's actually going to be the Rumble going to be ending up in the mid lane. Yeah, for sure, and that's what it's looking like so far. And not much can really be done against these big team fight heavy compositions. Really, whoever really gets the lead is going to be the one who's coming out on top easily. So maybe this might just be what they need to secure themselves the early wins here in the draft. Again, the Kumi, I believe he likes to play Malzahar. I'm not 100% there, but I have seen him play it a couple of times there. And Jinx, honestly, one of the best AD carries in the current meta. We've seen it so much in and around pro play and around other higher level leagues and things like that. So it's no surprise to me that it's coming out here when it was left open like that. So again, it's interesting picks all around here. The Sejuani there for Stone Kit Kat. He wants to get in and engage for his team there. So we'll see if he can get that done. Overall, though, these two teams have drafted themselves some pretty good team compositions. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And that Rumble, going back to your Rumble point there, there's a reason why it's like coming back pretty heavily and going back to your season 4 point there. We're seeing a lot of these season 4 champs kind of come back into the meta. Darius getting a bunch of buffs recently, and maybe we'll see like other big buffs coming over to Mordekaiser and things like that. It was kind of seeming like we're going to go towards a juggernaut meta like we did previously. So I like the picks that are coming out here. We are going to be getting into the game very shortly here. But again, just the final thoughts on this draft. I think both teams have drafted themselves something they're comfortable with, and it's really just going to be up to who can get that early advantage and snowball that, because that's honestly the meta we're in right now. All right, so with that in, we're going to load into the game, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like that, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come at me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me and let's be free. The night is young and I think this could go far. The sky is dark but you're my shooting star. Could see your face reflect upon the moon. It was a pretty summer night in June. And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like that, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come at me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me and let's be free.
All right, everybody. Yeah, that looks like, I believe they just showed on the tower is what you're trying to get at here, but unless some early action is going to take place here, which very well might happen, we could break down the teams here in a second, but for now, we're gonna see what's gonna happen here. Zoom it out a little bit. We'll see what's gonna happen. It looks like the action, they don't really know that they're there. Killer Zoldyck is gonna get spotted out now, so the invade is gonna go a little bit wide, but it is gonna go back straight into it. So we'll just break down these two teams real quick. On Team 6 for the blue side, we got Undead King 0877 up there in the top lane. Stone Kit Kat in the jungle playing Sejuani. The Kumi playing Malzahar in the mid lane. Unholy Wolf playing Xayah, and Official Mako down there in the bot lane alongside him. Playing the Rakan. Now for Team 7 on the red side, we're going to be seeing here that Romeo Polis is in the top lane playing Aurelia. Mako over there in the jungle. Or excuse me, Maki playing Dr. Mundo over there. Killer Zoldyck in the mid lane playing the Rumble, and then Dylan Sestrick and NAU playing the Jinx plus Thresh down there on the bot side. So pretty good matchups overall, man, and I really want to see what's going to happen. Yeah. 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 Goes a little wide. Yeah, it did go a little wide. Almost hit, but oh, that's the solo kill in the top lane. Couldn't really cast it. It just happened so fast. Romeo Polis with the first blood just bursting out the Jax before he even hits level 3, or he had just hit level 3, but he was at half HP, and he just gets blasted up there in the top lane. Romeo Polis with the solo kill, making it look easy on the Aurelia. Yeah, Killua could be in a bad spot here. He's going to get locked up with that Permafrost passive, but he could flash over the wall. He does get it at the end of the day. Sejuani follows, but it doesn't look like he's going to be continuing that play overall. But on the bot side here, big trade on the bot side here. Dylan and Anahu are able to get a lot of damage back, and Mako could be in a bad spot here if he doesn't get away in time. But looks like they just want to pressure, maybe look for some early plates here. And going to the top side here, we could see another gank. Stone Kit Kat up here looking for that over there. It is going to be a stun going over there. Romeo Polis is going to get locked up there. Now in the mid lane, Killer Zoldyck almost does solo kill the enemy Malzahar, or excuse me, the enemy Rumble with himself. And now they were able to trade one back on each other. So interesting to see that happen, but surprisingly, the Kumi there not even having to use this summoner spell. Oh. Yeah, the hook does come out, but it's just a heal used to protect their bot laner. And overall here on the bot side, Anahu and Dylan Caesar are able to do quite a bit of work in keeping this lane at an even state here. But at the end of the day, it's not going to mean the most overall on the bot side. They just forced out one summoner spell, but Romeo Polis is looking to continue this action up here. Level 5 was just hit by Undead King here. The Conquerors are stacking for both of those champions, but the Jax is just going to get away. Undead King not wanting to fight that Aurelia with her Conqueror stacked up like that. Yeah, here is the more action. Official Mako gets hooked, but it's not going to be anything. Dylan flashes away. Does not want to get locked up there. Anahu might be in a bad spot here as well. They're going to get locked up and locked down, but they are trying to get their way out of here. They do end up getting away, only at the cost of both their flashes. So the side of Team 7 might be down in the Summoner Spell department right now, but they're ahead a little bit in the gold. So not feeling too bad at the 5-minute mark here. Yeah, for sure. And the small CS advantage down here on the boss side, or it's actually starting to balloon quite a bit, 54 to 34. About a 20 CS is about a kill's worth of gold. But on the top side, Romeo Polis, man, flexing his muscles, getting another solo kill up there. I definitely want to keep your eye out on this guy. Just destroys Undead King up there, not even giving him a chance to even react to what he just did. He may have jumped away, but that using that Ionian Fervor stacks and the dashes with the Blade Surge there just to get all that extra damage, clearing up some of the minions as he went in, and just did so much there at the end. And it's another kill up there, and that advantage is starting to grow quite a bit up there. So maybe he can get something done and use that advantage to continue the snowball. Yeah, they did find him. Oh. The game has... Yep, the top laner over there has been sent back to whence he came. And honestly, it's not that bad of a situation here to be in. They do have their time to reset in this, but we'll see how long they're going to take here. We'll be checking that in a short second here. But overall, though, this game is turning out to be pretty standard. There's not as much action as we saw last game, where it was about 10 kills at the 10-minute mark there. This time around, it's turning out to be a little bit more of a slow-paced game. You can see them setting up around these objectives a little better. And now, with this time delay here, might have some time to regroup for their team. Maybe they just needed that mental reset. Who knows? But for now, they are reconnecting, getting back into this game, and they'll be back shortly. So we'll see when they do come back. But overall, what are your thoughts on how the lane states are going so far for the side of Team 7 over here on the red side? Oh. Yeah.
Rumble will shred a Sej and Malzahar against them. I genuinely think they can't do anything. So I think if they ever wanted to, they could ask for this Thresh to walk up or just anything, any kind of help from another lane, and they can actually end up 2v2ing in mid and then moving down and taking the jungle camps from this Sejuani. Because a Sejuani that's behind, although not the worst thing in the world for a Sej, is really annoying for her because she cannot keep up with the game state. She ends up being an ult bot, which if it was her old ult might be fine. Her new ult, that's not enough. Catching out one target and CCing one person. Oh, it looks like I'm gonna have a dive.
Yeah, it is a big dive down here on the bot side. Official Mako is already going to be the first one going down. Dylan, excuse me, going to be the first one to go, and it's not going to be the most just yet. Anahu's going to flay one back, but Unholy Wolf picks up another kill down there on the bot side. So smart dive there from the 4-man squad of Team 6 over here, making it happen, making it look easy. Really clean dive out of them. Undead King wants to try and defend this turret, but already uses that counter strike.
That's a really good idea. He should definitely leave here. This tower's dead.
Yeah, this tower is gone. No chance to even contest it. We'll see if he decides to make anything else happen here, but for now, it's not in a good spot there.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that I don't know this for certain. I didn't see the vision at the time, but I'm pretty sure Blue Side actually had knowledge that they were getting Rift Herald. So this is a really good play on their side, like high level play, knowing that their top side is losing already. So it's not a big deal so there's no real way that they can actually contest this Herald. So they make a play on the bot side of the map, almost evening out the gold advantage that they just got with the Herald. So especially since no kills and Undead King did a good job of understanding his tower is gone, it is no longer his, and giving up a lot of that space in order to make sure he doesn't die. On the other hand, they just punish that. Oh, more action happening
Mundo
here.
could be going down there, but he's going to stay alive with his Masochism ultimate there. Killua Zoldyck tries to come in and help Maki out to keep him alive, but he almost goes down there, and luckily the Mundo is not going to die here for the side of Team 7. He's feeling just fine right there. So far, this game is turning out to be pretty slow-paced. Both these teams trying to play calculated out. Really, the only explosive lane up here has been that top lane in between Romeopolis and Undead King. There, he hasn't really been able to do a whole lot against that Irelia, and having lost his tower very early on in this game, we'll see what it ends up meaning for the state of the game. But hold that thought, because Dylan and Anahu are locked up here. The double TPs are coming in now. That's going to be Romeopolis, already the first one on the scene. He wants to find his action. Official Mako does not get locked up there, but Killua Zoldyck is here as well. Another TP is going to be coming in. That's going to be the ultimate there used by the Irelia. He's going to be trying to dash in and around. That's going to be the quickness used by the Rakan. Unholy already found one. They're already finding another one. This is a 2-for-2 so far. These guys are playing to the limits that they can. They're playing it slow for a reason, but a double kill picked up there for Romeopolis. He makes it look easy. Then on the other side, 2 members go down for their side.
And that was a team fight with no Rumble ult available, no Mundo ult available to help her tank, and she's still... Oh, more action.
Oh, possibly. They
Looks
almost
like-
go in. Yeah, Counter-Strike goes down. Killua Zoldyck is going to get locked up here. They do take down one. Excuse me, Killua Zoldyck picks up a kill there. Mako is trying to do his best here. Undead King is going to be going down as well. A little bit more damage would have done it, but Dylan has to flash over to the other side of the wall, but he gets away with the extra move speed from his Get Excited there. And now he's going to be able to push down this tower here. Look real fine coming into this next fight here. And Killua playing to his absolute limits there. You saw him dash in, flashes afterwards to get that kill, and then he's even trying to dive the tower once that does happen. But overall, Killua coming up big in that fight, as well as Romeo, the solo laners here from the side of Team 7, definitely putting on their carry pants so far.
Yeah, just Team 6, right? Team 6 on blue side, really just not respecting the Rumble ult cooldown there, because that's the only reason they died. They ended up getting trapped underneath that tower with the Rumble ult, but should have ended up just backing up, giving them what they could get, because they couldn't really fight. They were on low HP bars there. Looks like they're setting up around this dragon. They actually should be able to get it if there's not too much contest, because Malzahar shreds these things like they're nothing. And there it is. But that's actually a really big pickup on the side of blue, because now they have enough time again to scale along with them, and there's not too much of a threat of a Mountain Soul rush or a Elder Dragon rush from red side, and this is kind of relieving a lot of the pressure. That was a very big pickup, actually. very big pickup. And what they'll end up doing here is trying to just to scale. By the way, this Jax probably out of the picture in the 1v1, but if you give this Jax enough time, he will start to win these side lanes, I think. I'm the kid, I just don't know the Jax Aurelia matchup very well. I
Yeah,
technically played it on both sides, but I still don't remember it. It was almost a year ago
yeah,
since I played it.
for
But
sure. I mean, and going back to that Jax Aurelia thing, I think we know who the winner of this matchup is so far. Maybe it's just Romeo Polis absolutely outplaying Undead King up there, but so far it's looking like the Aurelia is getting the better of this matchup, and he's using it to get us a lot of pressure back for his team. You see the 4 kills on the board there, got the tower very early on with the help of Maki over there on the Dr. Mundo, but overall here, I think it's just going to be a slow game throughout the entire time. Romeo Polis might be in a bad spot here. He's going to get locked up here. Uses the E to try and get the stun off. Only lands on the Stone Kit Kat. It does not have the ultimate to use just yet. It does not want to use it. Shutdown goes over to the Sejuani, and Undead could have really used that gold, but Sedge is going to be feeling just fine after getting that.
yeah, but you know, another 10, 15 gold is going to be very important here. Zyra Rakan just needs to back away from this tower. Don't fight this. Don't do it. Good. Very nice. Very well played. I know it's just walking away, but it's kind of hard not to fight people over things and just let them have it in front of you. But they got a huge shutdown on the top side of the map, especially even though it went to the Sedge, not most optimal person to give it to. It's best if somebody got it. But Undead King surely isn't out of this game quite yet. I think he'll maybe end up scaling, maybe a side lane threat later on into the game, but top lane pretty much is said and done for now.
Yeah. That top lane is going to be real hard to come back from, even at this 16-minute mark. There's still a lot of game left to play, right? But it's looking like that difference is just too much. So far, Maki up here, looking for it. Use that Turbo Chem Tank to chase him down, but he doesn't really have that much damage. And some hesitation here in trying to fight Undead King here, but Undead King has really no way out, and the 4-man squad from Team 7 over here just charging their way up. They want this kill, and there's no real way for Undead King to get out of this one.
I guess it's good that Undead King didn't get the kill, because now he's still not worth gold.
Yeah, it goes down.
Yep.
Go
They'll
ahead.
end up just getting a free Rift Herald right here, and they can actually use that to shove mid. And they can put the Aurelia topside, threaten the tower, and then use everybody else to shove mid. They might even get 2 towers while Undead King is still dead. If they end up using it fast enough, because they didn't waste anything except Mundo ult, and I guess Jinx ult, but on that top side, it actually looks like they're going to do the thing I said. Look at that. They're doing it.
Yeah.
Sejuani on the flank here for sure. She ain't going to do anything. Like, let's be real. She's not going to be able to do anything here. There's too much of a disadvantage. They really need to not be distracted by this, though.
Yeah, they can't really give up that much
Okay,
here,
looks
but
like they're
Sejuani
actually
does get
gonna
hooked in. The
back and forth.
death sentence does land. Official Mako trying to go in the back line, use the quickness to lock up 2 already. That's going to be the equalizer on the back line, trying to do a whole lot of damage, but that's so much going down already. Maki's trying to do his best to get in there and get down and dirty. A little bit more health left on him, but he dives to the tower. The Kumi picks up another one. It's going to end up being a 2-for-1 so far. Nobody's really gone down from the side of Team 6 over here, only losing their jungler here, who was initially caught out with the hook. And Romeo Polo is not opting into TP there. He does not want to use it. And honestly, it's pretty smart, because I don't know if they were going to win that fight.
Well, they definitely could have won that fight with Aurelia there, but more importantly, they ended up getting tier 2 on top side, so this wasn't necessarily a net loss for them. They shouldn't have died as much as they did, and Thresh definitely should not have gone in there. That was just not greed, but impatience on the side of Thresh there. They didn't need to fight over this. They could have just sat there and let the Aurelia do work in the side lanes and just avoided or tried to block and mitigate any kind of engage that would come in from the blue side. But red side's going to end up setting up on this dragon here. They still have TPs available. One thing that little quick anecdote that I like to do while we're waiting here is, if we have double TPs up on a team that I play for, we end up trying to send them both on the opposite side of the map if we are ahead, because they can shred those towers. So if we can just stall out the dragon, we can end up forcing a team into a complete loss. There is just nothing good going from this. A little bit of poke going out right here, but I don't think anything's going to start happening. If they do, I'll definitely shut up. But looks like they set up for this dragon pretty okay. Red side's just kind of taking it because they have an advantage here.
Yeah.
Rakan has a good flank though.
Rakan does have that good flank. Official Mako in the back line. The equalizer comes down on 3. It's just burning down in the back line, but it's not enough damage here. Dylan Caesar is still on touch on the back side here. They're trying to do their best. Blue side ends up stealing the dragon. That's going to be it going over to the side of Team 6. They're trying to do their damnedest to try and continue this, but it doesn't look like Killua Zoldyck can do anything at all. Dylan is still alive, but he can't do anything. Finds a double on the back side of that, but it's a 3 for 2 or a 4 for 2 over here from the side of Team 6. They get the better of that for sure.
Yeah, definitely do. They are not using these TPs to their advantage. This Aurelia cannot be contested by this Jax. Period. It does not matter what this Jax does. He does have a Triforce, but that does not match up to Asterix and a Bork, especially on an Aurelia. That champion is disgusting, especially when ahead. So they're not using these TP advantages that they have. They have 2 TPs, and both of them were there at the start of the fight. Granted, both of them were there at the start of the fight on blue side too, but just because one side doesn't make just because one side makes a mistake doesn't mean you have to. But red side definitely can still push their advantage. They still have an advantage, and also big shout out to Kahlua and Dylan here, because Kahlua is landing these disgusting ultimates with a empowered Q following it and shredding blue team incredibly hard in all of these fights, and actually ended up turning them. That's one of the reasons they're getting any kills in return here, because of these insane Kahlua ults. But either way, they still have an advantage here. Maybe Rumble's at least on the bot side of the map. I don't think he should be the one down there because he does not flank as well as Aurelia does. So I think if they were down here, actually, you know what? The AD's on the bot side of the map here, guys. You guys should be at this dragon, and it looks like they're gonna start a fight. And get
Yeah,
a
they
pick on
should be at this
Aurelia.
Baron. Aurelia might be cut out here. The press comes out from the Malzahar. The Nether Grasp is going to burn him down. Is he going to survive? Barely stays alive at the end of the day. Romeo Pola is getting out with a sliver of health there. The Sterix Gauge barely keeping him alive at the end. And overall, though, this game stage is turning out to be very, very even here. Only 2,000 gold separates it. The real difference here is just that those tower advantages here from the side of Team 7. But other than that, not much else has been done. Official Mako, is he going to be able to find his kill? Uses the quickness.
Please.
Oh, man. Mako finds the last little bit of damage there to find a kill on Romeo Polis. And if that happened to me, man, I'd be a little tilted after that one.
Yeah, I would definitely be tilted. This is an interesting play on the bot side of the map here. I don't really agree with it. They can definitely get this tower here, but I feel like there's too much time to react, and they're trading too much for too little. When they lost, or almost lost, Romeo Polis up there, they could have actually just turned right around and gone back to the Baron. Malzahar did not have ult. Just walk in as a clump. Walk to them. They don't have anything other than single target CC. Now this Jax is going to end up getting a tier 2. They got to shut down onto Official Mako. Favorite play of the entire night, by the way. They got to shut down onto Official Mako. Again, the support, not the most valuable, but still at least funny. And then their top laner got a tier 2. Now this Jax is actually looking pretty scary. He's getting almost to that completed Bork. Once he completes Bork, anybody that's not named Aurelia cannot fight him.
Yeah, for
Aurelia
sure.
is forced to match him. So these side lane interactions are going to end up being a lot less interesting and a lot less fluid for red side, because they've had plenty of time to actually attack blue side with their disadvantage, but they just never did. They have not set up around these Barons at all. They didn't set up around Dragon very well. They're not abusing their TPs. Both of these people have had TP up for 7+ minutes. They could have used TP on top of themselves and still have gotten the same advantage out of it.
Yeah, for sure. And Team 7 has been consistently finding their way around some of these fights, and you know, that Aurelia started 4-1, and she's 4-4 right now. So in the last couple of fights, she hasn't really been able to do a whole lot. And honestly, this is kind of one of the struggles we see with Aurelia as a champion. Once she gets off to the races, she's a very strong champion. She can get herself ahead. But coming to later stages of the game, it's very, very hard to team fight on her unless you are playing these fights perfectly. Dylan Caesar might get caught out, but the hook or the dark passage there from Anahu there to get him to safety. Overall here, I think this dragon setup is going to be smart here from the side of Team 7. They are trying to look for it. They are going to try and look for this fight here. Team 7 did not want to give another dragon away, but Team 6 really want this one for themselves. We'll see what ends up happening here.
Oh, what the heck? Okay, my game's frozen at the moment, but we really need to watch Kahlua in these fights coming up. And I don't know what's happening currently, but hello?
The fight is breaking out and breaking down. The equalizer into the back line. Unholy Wolf is going to get locked up here. That Ultra Mega Death Rocket only lands onto one. Romeo Pulis trying to do his best in the front line. That's already one rooted up down. Nobody's gone down yet. Anahu is in the front line trying to take for his team, trying to pull people back. Romeo Pulis already finds one, trying to look for a second, but he can't do anything just yet. Official Mako is in the front line trying to do his best. Cannot do anything just yet. Romeo Pulis might get burned down here. Unholy Wolf goes down as well to Dylan. The Kumi is in the front line trying to do his best, but the Jinx is untouched and unfired on. Dylan is trying to find these kills. Can he find him? Already found a double kill, but it's going to be a 3-for-4. Once again, this game is just being decided by margins here. Team 7 barely, staying alive there with Dylan, and the rest of the side of Team 6 definitely coming out on top.
Yeah, these guys are doing very well. Oh, looks like Sejuani's got somebody.
Yeah, Sejuani wants this blood. She smells it in the water and now picks up the shutdown onto Dylan. They're going to be able to look for this dragon here and now secure themselves that soul point, which they've been waiting on, and definitely secure themselves a bigger lead in this game. Definitely even up the gold completely now. It's 41k to 41k. Only about 500 to 600 gold separating these two teams. There is another fight breaking out here. Kahlua Zoldyck is locked up there, trying to do his best to stay alive. That's one already going down. The support is down from the side of Team 7. Undead King cannot do anything, has to flash over the wall to get away. But overall, it's a 1-for-0 turnaround there, and they get them out in Dragon for Team 6.
You can definitely respond right here with a either Baron setup or just doing the Baron itself, because they have an Aurelia with Bork here that looks like, I don't know what, I think they're building Shield Bow, right? With the Clawfields and the Vampiric Scepter. Pretty common build as far as I can tell for the Aurelia, but they could have actually set up around that Baron and started, and at least set up around it, reset, and then go and try and do it. But now, since blue side has this triple Drakes, now they've gone from being behind him, and I've been like, oh, maybe they can stall them out and scale out. This red side has been honestly just throwing away their lead. They are refusing to use their TPs, except for in this case, which I guess they got a kill out of it. But that's both of their TPs down for while Baron is up for a kill. It's not worth it. They have some setup around Baron, but they didn't even look in the pit yet. And this is going to happen again. Another gank onto this Aurelia.
Yeah, Romeopolis not really do anything. Just gets destroyed once again, man. And Aurelia may have gotten that the kill in the last fight, but she couldn't really do anything after that. Once she had extended all of her Blade Surge passives there, she could not really get onto any of the rest of the members. Dylan was the only soul member to stay alive at the end of that, and here he is once again trying to do his best to just position well in these fights. We've seen him do it pretty well in the last two, only getting caught out by a Bush Cheese there from the side of Team 6. But overall here, the side of Team 7 are still playing a good game themselves. Team 6 are just bouncing back heavily. These two teams definitely going at it here. Nobody really wanted to give an inch in this game. But here we might see something breaking out here. A bunch of grouping going on in the mid lane. And a few more minutes until that Mountain Dragons does spawn here. It is going to be spawning in about 2 minutes. That will be the soul ending up there for Team 6 if they're able to get it, and only the second one there for Team 7 if they can secure that one themselves. But overall here, this game has been back and forth, very slow paced for sure, not compared to like the last one where it was a bloodbath all throughout it, but it's really just turning out to be a who can make the bigger mistake first, and so far Team 7 have been on the back foot of that.
Yeah, they've definitely just not been able to make plays. They just haven't been able to push their advantage. I've talked about this a couple times, and their refusal to use TP and side lanes. They're using their side lanes now, but now they don't have TP, so they're at a huge disadvantage here. If they ever match this if this Malzahar ever matches this Rumble,
and you're talking about that disadvantage, and we're seeing it right here. The Jinx just gets picked off the second you don't have those TPs, and the side of Team 6 are realizing that they have that advantage here, and now the 5-man squad from Team 6 are just going to ARAM it down.
Yeah.
They know they have the members here. They know the AD carry, the strongest member on Team 7, is down. So Team 6 are going to be able to push it in. Kilo Zoldyck is on a flank here, but he can't really do anything. So Official
Yeah, I mean,
Mako.
he can maybe get a good Rumble ult, but it won't do too much. Honestly, what they should be doing right now is going to get Baron. They used 2 ultis for that kill, and that was like one of their best members and one of the most important members. I do understand being a little bit cautious around a Rumble and around an Aurelia in a Baron pit, but I feel like they still could have gone back and started the Baron here and forced them to fight them at a disadvantage, 4v5, and with their AD still having their ult available and their members just being so strong right now. So talking about the Jax and the Aurelia, this seems to be like the pretty much highlight of what I've been talking about the entire game. But sorry about that. But the Jax has actually gotten to a point where he is almost even with the Aurelia. He is half an item behind a 4-1 Aurelia at the beginning of the game. This is getting to a point of ridiculousness where this Jax is so strong. Now that he has TP available, he can be on the opposite side of the objective, and Aurelia might not even be able to match him. I
Yeah,
don't
we're
know if
seeing
that's
it break
true.
down. Here it goes. Maki is going to be the first one to get locked up there for a quick second. The Kumi here definitely looking for another grass, but it's not going to mean anything really just yet. So they are going to come out here right back to it. They want to posture around this dragon as it is spawning in about 10 seconds here. Official Mako in the front line here. Stone Kit Kat does find the ultimate. It is going to land. The ultimate from the Nethergrass comes down as well. Maki is trying to do his best to get everybody off of their AD carry here, but he can't really do anything here. Dylan is still alive, surprisingly, but Stone Kit Kat already finds the first. Indianapolis, or Romeopolis is on the backside already killing 1. That's already 2 kills going over to the blue side. Make that a 3rd. Kilo Zoldyck is going to get locked up here as well from the Permafrost. The flash in from Official Mako. Dylan Caesar trying to do his best to stay alive, but it's only 1 back. And a triple kill for Undead King. And after getting solo killed twice, definitely comes up big in this last fight.
Oh, and he dies the tower. Oh no!
It's almost poetic, man, that
Yeah,
he
at
dies
this
to the
point.
tower at the end.
But hey, he is actually at a point coming back in this game where it went from maybe he can 1v1 the Aurelia a couple seconds ago, definitely will 1v1 the Aurelia. So there is literally no advantage on red side. At this point, I have no idea how red side can get back into this game, except for maybe a Baron throw. Maybe they throw at Baron, and maybe they can throw at Elder. If they can get an Elder, they can still win this game, but they're just kind of holding on to straws since they wasted these TPs and they've wasted their advantage. They are now have fallen behind the curve. They are behind in CS and just 1 position. But
Yeah.
more importantly, they're 3k gold behind because
Yeah.
they've died so much and they've lost so much in these fights and they've played all of them so poorly. The laning phases on these people individually, obviously amazing because they did a lot of work. But other than Kahlua, and Dylan, I don't see a lot of good positioning and good play in these team fights. I feel like they're just kind of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, and obviously none of it is stuck.
Yeah, for sure. Just definitely Hail Marys coming out here from the side of Team 7, doing their best to try and secure themselves a good spot in this game as it's still going down. 33 minutes has just been hit. The Baron is just being postured around. We're seeing this Baron dance go in and around. But again, Team 6 here definitely trying to make their debut one that's worthwhile. Having them out in Soul now, that's a very tanky Sejuani and a very, very tanky Rakan. It's going to be hard to cut through those guys. Having those huge shields to stand in front of them, and you can see no damage is being really done to Stone Kit Kat. That ultimate is going to come down from the Rumble. The Equalizer comes down. That fight is going to be breaking out. Here it goes. Suppressed is now. The first one is going to go down. The Kumi picks up 1. Undead King picks up a second one. Official Mako is in the back line trying to do his best. Has not even used his flash just yet, having to get into that fight initially, but the Kumi still wants to look for this Undead King is here as well. He is going to use that counter strike. There he goes, smacking him down. Anahu is trying to do his best to go back and away, but this is just going to be a complete wipe from the side of Team 6. They make it look easy. Call that an ace, baby. They just turned around that team fight and wiped the floor with them.
That was very well played, and they understood that they just had an advantage. There was just nothing that they could do. Stone Kit Kat understood that he is the beefcake. He is a beautiful beefcake, and he just walked into the unseen jungle because he doesn't care. What are they gonna do to him? And they did a very good pick on Kahlua off onto the side. Well done. Instead of focusing into that choke point, they went off to the side, found Kalua, and killed him first, splitting up the fight, making it so that Rumble did not have anything that he could really give to the fight. Even though that Rumble ulti was very good, it ended up not doing too much because of the fact that he couldn't follow it up with an empowered Q, with an empowered E, these things that melt tanks and melt the enemy team. And since he couldn't get anything done, and Jinx had to walk around a Sedge and a Jax, that Jax actually tanked so much in that fight. If you ever want to look back, that Sterix did a lot of. Oh, he doesn't even have Sterix. He's just that tanky. The Mountain Drakes and his ultimate did so
ultimate.
much. Oh, looks like there's gonna be a bit of a fight here.
Yeah, the ultimate was providing with a bunch of tankiness, but in the mid lane, just some early action, some aggression coming out here from the side of Team 7. They don't really want to go down without a fight here, but the side of Team 6 just have so much pressure around the map. You can see the 2 members already pushing down on the bot side, and everybody in the mid lane here just trying to stack up these big waves, because that inhibitor in the top side was already taken, so having the waves prepped and set up here are definitely able to get themselves an advantage around the positioning and around the map here, because now they're able to push into the mid lane here, probably secure this inhibitor. The tower is going to be the first one to go down. Undead King has just so much damage here. He's just melting these towers with the Trinity Force and the Bork combo. Official Mako down here on the bot side. Maki going to get locked up there, but he can't really do much else besides stand there and take those pot shots from the Jinx. And Stone Kit Kat in the front line looking for the engage. Is just positioning pretty well so far.
And he ulted the wave. That goes a lot of the ability to hold this.
Yeah.
They can just kind of sit in their base. I don't think they have enough
And-
wave clear because too many of them are melee. I don't know
Yeah.
if they can do anything versus this Malzahar and Xayah wave clear. They can just kind of
Yeah.
stand here and let the minions do it for them.
Yeah, and the triple inhibitor has now been set off. This could be the ending push from the side of Team 6. They do not want to give this one up here. 30 to 16 is the score line here. About 10,000 gold in the lead now are Team 7, or Team 6, excuse me. Stone Kick Out looks for the Glacial Fissure there, but he's not able to find it. Now, the rest of the team are dashing in and dodging in. That's already one going down. The Aurelia is the first to go down. Romeo Polis is not able to do anything. Xayah already with 3, trying to look for the third, but they're just going to end it here. That's going to be Team 6 on the blue side, taking over the game, ending this one at the 36-minute mark, making it look good after the 20. And they just never let go of the gas there once they did get that advantage.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about MVPs here, but I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. But
Yeah, for
I
sure,
would
man.
I would definitely edge my MVP towards either Kumi because he had very good laning phase into the Rumble. I mean, it's Malzahar. It's kind of hard to mess it up, but he just played the map very well and he played it slowly and properly. And then you can actually give it to the bot lane too for always being aware that they are not going to win and understanding when to give up stuff and when to fight with their team or the jungle. Their jungler popped off this game. Really good. Honestly, they're a Poppy player, so I'm not too surprised. Poppy players are just, better than other people, but that's beside the point. A little bit of a bias there. But honestly, I'd probably give it to Stone Kit Kat because they do play Poppy, and I'm, again, biased. So, other than that, they played it very well, played it very patiently, understood that they were behind in the early game, snuck a couple dragons to let them scale, and then they just kept taking these fights properly and slowly, getting good single target ultimates onto the people that mattered. That's why Romopolis did not do well in this game, because it's kind of hard to play when you get hit with a Sedge ult, when you get hit with a Malz ult every fight. Every fight. He could not play. He had to flank, and even when he did have flanks, he just got hit with a Sedge ult. He got hit with a Malz ult. He cannot play. And it was very, very difficult for him to do anything. It's one of the reasons that I was so kind of disappointed that they didn't end up using their side lane advantage in the Aurelia and in the Rumble, being able to 1v1 their opponents. But I think
Yeah.
it was well played by Blue Side, definitely, for being patient and understanding their current state in the game. I don't know who on their team was talking about it and calming people down and letting people know it's okay that and to be in the current state that they were, but they did a great job. To Red Side's credit, I feel like if they had just understood what they needed to do and achieved that goal a little bit better and a little bit more collectively, they definitely could have won this game. Their laning phases were all immaculate. I think all of them played their lane very well. Top lane obviously did well, ended up 4-1. Bot lane did well with a pretty big CS advantage at one point, if I'm not mistaken, and I think a couple kills. Mid lane stayed even in CS. He had one misstep by TPing back and then killing himself. Kind of a waste, but
Yeah,
it's one mistake, especially
sure.
since Kumi played the rest of the lane so well, so it's very difficult for him to come back from that.
Team 6 just overall outplayed their opponents, right? And we saw it here first. They came out on top. They did all that damage that we're seeing there. The Kumi definitely come out on top. But as we're going to get loading into we're going to head to a quick break here. And while we're in the break, make sure you vote for your player of the game here. It is just going to be a quick break to send it off. And we'll see you guys back in a few. All right, everybody, welcome back. That was the last game of the day for the draft, the start of it off, and it was a pretty good one at that. We're seeing it here. Both these guys coming out hot. Both these teams, excuse me, coming out hot. Team 6 and Team 13 are going to come out with the dubs here for the day. And to name your player of the game, it was the Kumi on the Malzahar with a KDA of 7, 4, and 16. Definitely popping off on that champion, making it look real easy here. But with not that many finishing words here, it was just nice to see all the players come out hot, not wanting to hold back in the first day of the draft. We are going to end it here for the night. It was nice to see both these teams play once again. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. There were some minor technical difficulties. Sorry about that. But we'll be back tomorrow and the next day for the rest of the week. Make sure to tune into the rest of the drafts and the rest of the pre-mades coming out throughout the week. So I've been Gundo, joined by Bigsby, and we're going to be out of here in a few. Just going to let you end out here. But again, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch y'all tomorrow.